Hey now, and welcome down to KCToyreviews. We are here today with Sam from the hit Halloween movie Trick or Treat. And of course, this is the deluxe 1/6 scale figure by Trick or Treat Studios. So go figure, the movie's Trick or Treat, the studios that produce this is Trick or Treat Studios. And of course, as I mentioned, also this is a beloved Halloween cult classic. So what a fantastic pairing of the two. And I will immediately say Trick or Treat Studios did a fantastic job with this release. And of course, if you're at all curious of those details, then let's go ahead, tightly hold each other's hands, and dive right the hell goddamn in. All right, so here we are with Sam from Trick or Treat. Now, obviously, Trick or Treat is an amazing Halloween movie, which borders more on like cult classic because it's not like this incredibly well-made movie. But I think the character that lies in front of us is really what has hinged this more as a cult classic movie. The creators of this movie obviously had a home run once they created this character because Sam is very memorable and obviously everybody's favorite from that movie. Sam's look is very simple, yet very unique. And later on during the video, dare we call it a spoiler, we will show the other head sculpt and what's underneath the burlap mask over Sam's face. Now, as you can see with this head sculpt, is that what we're going to call it? Head sculpt, mask sculpt, whatever we're going to call this. They did a fantastic job and it is clearly ripped straight from the movies. They do have an actual burlap material used for the mask. And based off the size of the stitching on the material, it looks fantastic and appropriate to the proportions. The button eyes, the rope around the neck, and the way it just sits and flows on top is absolutely top notch. And it is worth noting real quick, see if I can do it without making them fall. Articulation's pretty fantastic. We can look all around. What the hell? What the hell's that over there? Over there. You hear that behind me? Right here. Clearly fantastic articulation on this head sculpt. You can look it around, all around downtown, come around downtown right now, and it is fantastic. And as far as the lollipop in hand, we do have the one that's shown here, which is cracked on the side. And of course, if you've seen the movie, you know that because of this, he ends up using this as a weapon. And then second to this one, which I'll put in another shot, we have a whole completed lollipop with the full pumpkin face. So you have the broken, sharded weapon version in shot here, and then we have another whole version that we'll show later. And behind that, just take a look at the weathered, tailored, incredible look to the suit here. We have a few patches, a variation of contrast. And dare I say, everything almost looks real. And it also was worth noting that taking the hands on and off was very easy. I'm terrible at reviewing hands because they are so boring to review, but there are 3 pairs total. And I probably should have had it more throughout the shots of the video, is this incredible bag. Now, obviously, this is a very stereotypical part of Sam, and it is very similar, if not exactly the same, as the burlap face mask head sculpt that he has. And as we can see, there's kind of this bloody-ish weathered look to the bag here. He's got some horrible things that are clearly staining the corner of this bag. And overall, this is a fantastic included accessory. There is a light fixture in this, a little LED light. So there's the button and the on button right at the bottom there. And actually looks pretty badass. It has a flickering effect. I'm going to be honest, I'm a little bit too lazy to turn off the box and put that on. But this is really just an awesome bonus accessory that came with this figure. The only gripe I would say would be the way that the pants and the trousers come off the feet. I'm surprised that they're not glued onto the bottom here. And then there should have been a magnetic system on the bottom of these feet that worked with the bottom of that amazing display stand that came with it. And I think all of us as collectors would have paid an extra $20-30 just to have that system in place because it would give us a little bit more stability once we plugged him on that awesome display. But with that said, I mean, he balances well. Every time I stand him up, it doesn't seem to be an issue, and it does have that cool bunched up look that he's actually supposed to have in the movie there. So perhaps there is a method behind the madness there, and it does give us that authentic look of Sam's feet. Now, before we do a quick articulation test, let's take a glance at this amazing pumpkin head sculpt. Now, of course, this is Sam once his mask is pulled off and revealed at the end of the movie, and some might call it this scary, horrific-looking face, and some might call it a little cute, or perhaps a merge of both of them. Nonetheless, we do need to stress that Trick or Treat Studios has knocked it out of the park with both this head sculpt and the masked head sculpt. The paint application, the details, and the overall likeness are ripped straight from the movie. I have 0 complaints and couldn't have asked for anything better. And then on top of that, you actually can articulate and open the mouth. What's that over there? Huh? Is that a little kid? Is that a little kid I can get over there and go take him in the bushes and kill that little kid? Huh? Okay. I'm doing that way too much, but anyways, you get the point. We can fully articulate and open that mouth, and you can pose it however the hell you want. Look at how badass that looks together. And of course, before we pan away and look at the articulation, let's just note the little lollipop in hand is the whole version versus the cracked, weaponized, want to kill somebody version. And as promised, we do have the articulation portion. Now, the only thing that I was a little bit disappointed is you can see the looseness of the body. I'm going to let go here. I mean, not bashing Trick or Treat Studios by any means. Maybe this is just a one-off. But the looseness of my body was just a little bit disappointed. I wish there was more firmness and stiffness in all the joints versus what I had received. However, like I said, this could just be a one-off. And with that said, we have double jointed knees, we have double jointed elbows. I mean, you can basically pose and do whatever the hell you want with this guy. Of course, we have a cloth suit that's very baggy, so fear of damage or anything like that is going to be basically non-existent. And randomly, we do this in case you're wondering what his ass looks like or if there was access to his ass. Well, in that case, you're in luck because we have the old school pouch on the back of your ass on this onesie. And it is worth saying, I mean, Trick or Treat Studios did a fantastic job. The buttons, the likeness, the weathered look throughout this suit, and this little patch on the back of his ass are top notch. If he wasn't so scary, I'd take both of those buttons, I'd undo them, I just slap his ass real quick, just slap it and say, hey, you're one of my favorite characters. Whoosh, whoosh. Just a quick slap to the pumpkin ass. And if the pumpkin ass doesn't like a slap, well, then I have fear of worrying about dying and him killing my whole family. But I'm going to take the risk because I was very excited to open up those buttons and slap that pumpkin ass. Anyways, onwards to the next shot. And before we do any quick side-by-sides, just one quick glance at this amazing base that's included. We obviously have some hints of Pennywise with this grate here, but the paint application, this turf grass that's included, and I should probably quickly note this is another accessory that's included that I've just kind of kept in the grass there. I think it adds a little contrast to the bottom of that stand. But that knife blade candy bar is another fantastic touch to this already amazing piece. I think as I hinted at earlier, the only complaint I would have would be some type of magnet system underneath here, obviously a metal plate, and then magnets on the bottom of Sam's feet. What an amazing pairing that would have been, because there is a slight balancing act involved. Not saying that he's balanced horribly, but we do like to preserve our figures and have a little bit of breathing room knowing that they're not going to fall over in our cases. In this situation, a little bit stiffer of a body and the magnets could have added wonders to this figure. But I'm going to pause there and stop and still stress and say this is an incredible base that's included. We normally get these very boring Amazon basic 1/6 scale stands, sometimes even branded with the company names, which is ridiculous. So this was a pleasant surprise and a bonus to an already amazing piece. Now, first off, in the realm of side-by-sides, we obviously have to show the NECA cloth version of Sam, which previous to this was the only version of Sam I've had in my collection. So as you can see in front of us and based off of the review so far, I'm ecstatic to have a larger / proper version in my collection. But a quick note, side by side, they look amazing. The NECA version has a similar weathered cloth look, baggy legs, burlap face, and all the authentic qualities of Sam we are looking for. And lastly, just so you can get a quick understanding of scale on this figure, I would say that Trick or Treat Studios nailed it. I mean, Sam is based off of a kid / smaller body proportion, and side by side with the, well, no pun intended, sideshow Ghostface. I'm not even sure if that made sense. That was a horrible joke again. But anyways, the sideshow Ghostface, which is to the left, shows the awesome scale of these two figures. So again, I would stress these proportions do look appropriate to me, and the quality holds up between these two iconic horror figures. And there we have it. Sam from the hit Halloween movie Trick or Treat, and coincidentally by Trick or Treat Studios. Personally, I'm a massive fan of the movie. I watch it every single year, so I am ecstatic that Trick or Treat Studios came out with this fantastic 1/6 scale version of this character. I think Sam has become a staple of Halloween, I will say that I am super excited to have this incredible 1/6 scale version officially on my shelves. Trick or Treat Studios has ripped Sam straight from the movies and brought him to our shelves with incredible tailoring, fantastic paint application, a wonderful base that he can stand on, which adds even more contrast. We have that bright green turf grass, hints of a Pennywise drain, the pumpkin, which you can basically put wherever the hell you want, and let's not forget that we can turn that on or off with a flickering LED look, all paired with this amazing Sam figure on top. Everything complements one another. Throw this into your 1/6 scale horror collection, and there is no way you will not be satisfied with this release. So far, other than just the flimsy body that I had underneath, I have zero complaints with this release. I'm not sure I know exactly how tall Sam is, so there could be some fanatics out there going, well, he's too tall or he's too short for exactly how Sam was as far as authenticity goes, but I do not give a crap because he looks amazing. The proportions work for me and my collection. Paired with all this weathered look and an awesome quality, you cannot go wrong with this release. And after all that ranting and raving, I think it's a perfect time to segue this into a score. And well, personally, as it spins in front of us, is an 8.7 out of 10. And I will go as far as saying this is clearly the best version of a 1/6 scale Sam you can get your hands on at an affordable price. There might be some cool customs out there, but Trick or Treat Studios has entertained the masses with the possibility of introducing this amazing 1/6 scale collectible into your horror collection. And I do say this a lot, but horror figures are far and few in between. We are saturated with DC, Marvel, Star Wars, all the hit pop culture films that sell to the masses. So the fact that Trick or Treat Studios can delight us with this figure and bring it to our collection at an affordable price is absolutely amazing. And at an 8.7 out of 10, I highly suggest picking up this piece. Because when this sells out, it is absolutely going to sell out. And like most Trick or Treat Studio figures, they are going to increase in price. And with all that said, I think it's a perfect time to wrap this up with an 8.7 out of 10 from Sam from Trick or Treat, the hit Halloween movie. And one last time, we have to hammer it in. Trick or Treat Studios knocked it out of the park with this release. All of their 1/6 scale horror releases are fantastic. We have Leatherface on the horizon, a ton of Michael Myers and Halloween movie figures. So based off the quality and the overall presentation of this release, I cannot wait to see what's next. Sam, Trick or Treat Studios, Trick or Treat the movie. Don't get both of them confused, but both of them are amazing. Hopefully we get a part 2. Catch you guys next time. Ah!